Hi, Prime Minister. Tom Parry with CBC. Pierre Poilievre is blaming you for pretty much every problem facing the country, whether that's crime. Big laugh from the gallery. That's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Pleb. In tonight's story, the Liberal cabinet retreat just keeps getting worse and worse for Justin Trudeau. Yesterday, Chrystia Freeland went and confronted Melanie Joly in the streets of PEI about her comments about her contingency plan for the far right. As well, tonight, Chrystia Freeland gets busted driving 142 kilometers in Alberta. She must have a really fast bike. And in our last story, Franco Terrazzano just busted the CBC scamming Canadian taxpayers out of $46 million. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Welcome to tonight's report. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Justin Trudeau is the worst prime minister Canada has ever had? If the answer is yes, smash the subscribe button because you found a new home. Let's start tonight's report. Welcome to your midweek report. It's the Pleb. We're going to start off tonight's story with none other than Justin Trudeau's number 2, otherwise known as Canada's top cyclist, Chrystia Freeland, who, breaking news as of yesterday, got busted going 142 kilometers an hour. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Was this in a car or was it on a bike? And as YouTube's top reporter and totally not a troll or a comic, I used my connections to find some footage yesterday out of Alberta of Chrystia Freeland speeding her car. Yes, surprising it was her car, but apparently this is the footage of Chrystia Freeland driving through Alberta. Look at this. Oh my God. She is more reckless with that pickup truck than she is with our money. Let's watch this again. Oh, crazy. Just cuts right through. What do you think they're running away from? Chrystia Freeland had some comments for the media today regarding her ticket. Let's watch what she had to say here.
I'm wondering what your reaction is to the leak about your speeding ticket, and do you have concerns about the fact that that was leaked publicly?
Okay, so the media is more concerned that this got leaked than Chrystia Freeland literally breaking the law. Just goes to show how biased this media is. My God. The source of the leak. Are you concerned about the source of the leak? Holy moly.
So look, I did get a speeding ticket driving between Grand Prairie and Peace River. I was driving too fast, and I won't do it again.
That solves that. Now, I normally wouldn't care. This normally wouldn't be a big story. Okay, 142 kilometers an hour. Admit it to yourself, bros. You have been there. We've all been there. But the reason this is such a big story is because Chrystia Freeland told Canadians to just get rid of their cars. How about you just take your bike everywhere? And while she takes her car and, you know, recklessly drives 42 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, not giving an absolute F. And speaking of someone who gives no Fs, we'll move it along to our next story here, where Chrystia Freeland yesterday in Prince Edward Island confronted Melanie Joly about her comments about the far right. He put out this video that's going viral here. This has 7,500 likes, okay, in less than a day. Man, over 3,000 retweets. Let's watch this clip. It's absolute gold. Oh man, Chrystia Freeland and another liberal. You know this is going to be great. Let's watch this clip.
My name is Kian. I'm just with the Counter Signal. And I just want to chat with you about some comments that were picked up in the mainstream media a couple days ago. No, sorry, you're here on the taxpayers' dime. You can answer some questions. I'm sure you understand. You're eating ice cream, but people are dying in fires right now. People were...
Oh my God. Oh my God. What did he just say? You're eating ice cream and people are dying in fires right now. Holy... Oh man.
Questions. I'm sure you understand. You're eating ice cream, but people are dying in fires right now. People were reporting that you had said that you were worried about a far-right authoritarian shift in the United States, and I'm wondering what kind of things you're concerned about.
Eat that ice cream.
Are you worried they're going to freeze bank accounts?
Boom. No comment.
What kind of things cause you to be concerned about far-right authoritarianism and not far-left authoritarianism, as your government has been accused of?
Oh my God, far left authoritarianism. This is exactly what the Trudeau government is. What a friggin' sick question. Sick question, Kian. Sick question.
Could you tell? No, please don't touch me. Thank you. I'm speaking to someone who's paid by the taxpayers to be here while you're enjoying ice cream. I'm sure you can understand why I want answers to this.
God,
Could you tell me why you paid the Chinese government $1.6 million to get a board seat to advise them on climate change? Just as long as you don't touch me, that's fine. Thanks.
Then don't walk in front of me, then, please.
You paid them $1.6 million to give your friend Stephen Guilbeault a board seat, so that he can tell them to not go net zero until 2060. But you're going to force Alberta to do that, so that people freeze to death in the dark.
Oh my God.
Are you working pretty hard right now while you're enjoying your ice cream while people are burning to death in Kelowna? You understand why Canadians might be a little bit upset with the visual of this. We caught your friend Dominic LeBlanc last night smoking a Cuban cigar in a back alley. You're here just enjoying some frozen ice cream.
God, this is
Do you get how Canadians might call this out of touch?
this is so funny.
All right, you have a great night.
We will continue to keep you informed.
Oh my God.
Unfolds.
Kian is probably my favorite journalist. Those are just some absolutely savage questions. But when it came to one question that Kian asked to Melanie Joly saying, are you guys working hard over there at the Liberal Party retreat? Well, Pierre Poilievre put out a tweet from the National News Watch here saying that the cabinet ministers leave the retreat without any new plans to address the housing crisis. Nice. So they put this giant expensive retreat on the taxpayer dime. They bought themselves ice cream. They bought themselves cigars on our money and accomplished absolutely nothing. Basically the Liberals in a nutshell. Some breaking news here as I'm recording this video came in. It appears that Jordan Peterson has lost his court battle and will have to submit to re-education from the College of Psychologists of Ontario, further proving that Canada is not a serious country, as Jordan Peterson wrote mean tweets about Justin Trudeau and said nice things about Pierre Poilievre. That is considered too extreme and worthy of a re-education in Canada. We are not a serious country, and at the Pleb channel, we stand with Jordan Peterson in his fight for free speech. In our next story, I've been advertising these Justin Trudeau fundraisers that are going on, and on yesterday's show, I advertised that Justin Trudeau is doing a fundraiser in Edmonton this Saturday at the Edmonton Convention Center. Well, it appears that Justin Trudeau is going to be in at the Fairmont, Vancouver this Friday. I put out a tweet here saying, imagine paying $1,700 to hang out with Justin Trudeau. Well, guys, guess who quoted me on that tweet? Guess who quoted me on that tweet? None other than Dr. Peterson, Jordan Peterson, came out saying I should go to this Liberal hangout. Let me ask you, would you guys actually like to see Jordan Peterson crashing one of Trudeau's fundraisers? That could potentially be the best heckling footage we've ever seen on this channel. On behalf of all Canadians, Dr. Peterson, please go to this fundraiser. I need to see this footage. I will feature it on my channel. Please spend the $1,700 because you can afford it, unlike Canadians who are struggling right now. And Pierre Poilievre is really putting his finger on the pulse of these struggling Canadians, because we're going to watch the latest conservative ad together that Pierre Poilievre put out. It's so good. Okay, this is basically, you know, another one of those conservative ads where they just use Justin Trudeau's own words against him. Let's watch this gold.
We need real change in affordable housing.
The federal government is not only back in housing, but we're here to stay.
We're moving forward with a national housing strategy.
We made housing a priority. The federal government does have a role to play in housing.
I'll be blunt as well. Housing isn't a primary federal responsibility.
Oh, yes, yes. Keep that Justin Trudeau bandage footage. I love it. With that big that big bandage in his forehead when his wife threw her heels right at his forehead, for sure. That's my favorite theory, at least. Not worth the cost. This is the reason Pierre Poilievre's doing so well right now, is because he's connecting with the youth. They can't even afford studio apartments in this country, and they definitely can't afford their first home. Their entire future is absolutely screwed, and Pierre Poilievre is putting his finger on the pulse of this issue and connecting with voters. But yesterday in PEI, a CBC reporter asked Justin Trudeau about these issues. I want you guys to hear his response and the response from his cabinet in the back. It'll really show you the difference between the Conservatives and the Liberals. Watch this. It's wild. And this is a CBC reporter asking him the question, because that's the only people who get access to Trudeau. Not journalists like Kean Bexley, only the government-approved ones.
Hi, Prime Minister. Tom Carey with CBC. Pierre Poilievre is blaming you for pretty much every problem facing the country, whether that's crime. Big laugh from the gallery. Yeah, that's great.
What's so funny about that? What's so funny about that? These people are so out of touch. Canadians are suffering and they're laughing in your face. These people are evil. What is this?
Pierre Poilievre is blaming you for pretty much every problem facing the country, whether that's crime. Big laugh from the gallery. That's great. Crime.
I mean, hey man, there's people suffering in this country. There's record food bank usage, and you elitist a-holes are literally laughing in Canadians' faces. How on brand of the Liberals. These people are literally laughing in your face. This is funny to them. It's funny to see Canadians using the food bank. It's funny to see Canadians having their mortgages doubled. It's funny to them to see, Canadians losing their homes. It's so funny to the Liberals. So funny. Keep laughing, Liberals. Keep laughing. Because at the next election, we're going to give Pierre Poilievre a majority government and send you absolute losers packing. And in our next story, some footage has emerged on Twitter X of the 2021 election campaign here in Canada, where Justin Trudeau announces his plan to combat forest fires in this country, and the amount of money he spends on this will blow your mind. Let's roll the clip.
This fire season has been one of the worst on record. It's clear we need more people and more resources to fight these wildfires and keep communities safe. So that's exactly what we're ready to deliver. A re-elected Liberal government will invest $500 million ahead of the next fire season for the firefighters and equipment provinces need.
Okay, that was in 2021. $500 million. $500 million. The whole country's on fire. Great. Another great plan by Justin Trudeau. Just, hey, let's spend some money and get absolutely no results. This is the Liberal way, folks. It's the Liberal way.
To begin with, we'll train at least 1,000 more firefighters in communities across the country who'll be able to mobilize right away when a major burn starts. We know communities could have used more hands this year, so when next year comes around, this training means teams will be ready and complete.
Okay, so you had 2 years now, and things are an absolute shit show here in Canada. The whole country's on fire. And we gave you $500 million to fight forest fires. Only in Canada can you give the government $500 million to fight fires, and it actually gets worse. It's sad, but it's funny, but it's also really sad. And it keeps getting crazier with the left here. Do you guys remember Catherine McKenna, the old Minister of the Environment? Look at this tweet she puts out. Look at this tweet. We need a mandatory climate science lesson for conservative politicians and premier, as well as costs to the lives and livelihoods of Canadians from climate change and to the economics of the clean transition. Otherwise, Canadians pay the price. It's absurd. That's where we are at. We literally have, these people literally want to put conservatives now in re-education camps so that we can learn to think like them. Is this not insane? And in our next story, Franco Terrazzano from the Canadian Taxpayer Federation has just busted the CBC stealing $46 million from taxpayer pockets. When asked for $42 million to recover from the pandemic, apparently the CBC spent $46 million on bonuses. Let's watch this insane footage. I love this guy, for the record. Go follow him on Twitter. What they're doing over there at the Canadian Taxpayer Federation is amazing, because this government has so much waste. Thank God for people like Franco and his team. Let's watch it.
Okay, so the last economic update, the last budget update from Freeland, essentially gave the CBC an extra $42 million to help the CBC recover through the pandemic, right? Isn't that nice?
Scam.
And that's $42 million extra on top of the $1 billion plus they get every single year. So they got an extra
Oh, nice. So they got $42 million on top of the $1 billion to recover from the pandemic. Can you see the scam here?
$42 million from the feds to help them recover through the pandemic. Well, since the beginning of the pandemic, they handed out $46 million in bonuses.
Get the
you see that
out
math?
of here.
An extra $42 million to help recover from the pandemic, then an extra $46 million in bonuses to their employees during the pandemic, right? So that just doesn't really add up to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. You go ask the government for $42 million to help recover from the pandemic, and then you give out $46 million in bonuses. Make it make sense. We need to eliminate the CBC, defund this nonsense. I can't even believe my tax dollars are paying for the Liberal Party's propaganda machine. How sick, how crazy, defund them immediately. And in our last story, with a little bit of doom porn here, Pierre Poilievre offers a dire warning about the housing crisis that's going on in this country. I want everyone to watch this clip because this is absolutely sobering as to what is probably coming in Canada, thanks to Justin Trudeau.
What happens in Canada in the next 2 years as people's mortgages roll over and their monthly bills go up by $2,000 or $3,000 a month? What happens? What happens when they can't pay? Where do they go? Our homeless shelters are already overflowing. Our refugees already live on the streets and under bridges. What do you think is going to happen when 10 or 100,000 families lose their homes? Where will they go? Where will they go?
Damn.
We will have the world talking about a humanitarian crisis, not in a developing country on the other side of the Atlantic, but right here in Canada. That is where this is heading. We have never seen it like this before. And we were supposed to have solutions out of this big housing retreat Trudeau held. What was the solution? More speeches, more photo ops, more puff pieces for his incompetent housing minister to go out and attack the very programs he was running 2 weeks ago. Nothing. Justin Trudeau, the vacation is over. You've doubled housing costs. We have young people living on the streets. It's time to recall the House so that we can get Canadians a home.
Can we make a pact here, ladies and gentlemen, that we will never elect another Liberal government again? Can we get that written in our Charter of Rights, our Constitution, whatever? Look at the damage these Liberals do to us. Get woke. Canada went friggin' broke. All right, guys, let me ask you a question here to end off today's video. Regarding the CBC, do you guys think that they deserved $48 million in bonuses after we gave them an additional $46 million? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the CBC giving themselves out all those giant bonuses that you paid for. As usual, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed my coverage, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my videos. It helps out a lot. You can buy a membership to my channel, too, if you actually want to help me out even further. That would be awesome. My name is The Pleb. This was tonight's report, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.